What's up there, fellas? How you doing? Hopefully you're doing great. Hopefully you are doing much better, right? If you're Arsenal fan, not so much. But hey, welcome to Famous Football. I'm your host Nick. Let's talk football. We're gonna be discussing Premier League review, every single Premier League game that was played this weekend, right? From Liverpool, Szoboszlai, Arsenal losing, we're moving Chelsea. Every single game that was played this weekend, I'm going to be giving you my thoughts and my review basically about everything. So let's get into it, right? We'll begin with the Mighty Blues. Of course, the Mighty Blues, yeah? Chelsea, let's get into that. What happened? This is a game that many will consider right, a controversial win. There were a lot of controversy within the game as the game went on. To begin with, Fulham scored a goal within the first half that got ruled out. Many think that the goal shouldn't have been ruled out considering what happened because they got their goal with their youngster King, and it was a brilliant transition from Fulham, quick, right? Chelsea centre back was caught slacking. The guy had space in Toke and composure, beautiful finish. But then, what happened with the striker Muniz? He stepped on Chatterback foot, right? And the referee or VAR ruled it out. The referee at the time they didn't consider that as a foul, but VAR ended up ruling it out, and they said it was a foul. So that goal got cancelled. Now I don't think it was a foul, but what happened. I take the win, Chelsea take the win. I've already done a review about that game, right? So if you want to know what I have to say about almost everything in that game in details, you can go check it out. My review, Chelsea versus Fulham, is all in there. But Chelsea basically won the game, and it wasn't the best performance from them as a team, I would say, because in the first half they were slacking a lot. In the first half they didn't really get to do a lot, but then they picked their form up later in the game, and then they get to do what they're supposed to do, especially within the second half. And they ended the first half, even though they didn't do well, they ended the first half with a goal, and I think that kind of built them up a little bit. And then when they came in the second half, we also saw a shift in momentum in terms of they finding their rhythm and they're doing much better. So Chelsea win, it was good for them. Now unlucky to Fulham, they came, they brought the heat, they brought the press, they look structured, they look compact. They were doing what they were supposed to do. In the first half, they basically were controlling the game. They were doing what they are supposed to do in the game. So Chelsea didn't really have the time. Like every single Chelsea player, right, was not having their best game within the first half. That I can put that across the board. Every single one of them, because of the way Fulham was set up and the way Fulham were pressing. Like they were very aggressive and they won a lot of the duels. And well, fair play to them on that. Congratulations to Chelsea, they won. Mighty Blues. But then we move to Man United versus Burnley. Man United getting their first win of the season, right? I think they drew one, lost one, and then now they they win, right? Congratulations to them because Amorim been going through it after the loss on Wednesday, right? That shouldn't even they shouldn't have even won. Now I also did a video about that you can go check that out where I have something to say about what happened. The way Man United played in that game against is a Greensbay, right? Unacceptable. Man United look I have to say they have been playing in League One for ages, right? Because the level that if this is a Premier League team and the other team is in League One, you couldn't even tell. But today, Man United they show a little bit of strength. Now they created a lot of chances, which is they didn't finish, and I think that was another Man United problem. So it's like what I'm seeing with them, they create a lot of chances, but their attackers are not clinical enough. In Bournemouth got himself into pretty some very good position, not just him, but also other attackers. Ahmad, Bruno, even all of them, they got themselves into a beautiful position and they were able to find those people. So, which is, something Man United is building something here, right? Now, maybe you may not say something exciting, but they are building something, which is good, right, to begin with, because they build it. And I think for most Man United fans, you all need to be humble for the next, I don't know, 2, 3 years. Chelsea, we went through that phase, 2, 3 years, where it's just like we were down in the mud, right? I think Man United is going to be experiencing that for the next 2, 3 years. But for their game, against Burnley, now I know it's just Burnley, but for Man United and where they are, the level that they are right now, to be honest, that is a good step forward, right? They got their first win. Bruno getting on the score sheet, and Burmo getting on the score sheet as well. So happy days for all of them. So congratulations to Man United, Amorim, and every single one of them. But Burnley, on the other hand, also put up a fight, right? It's like Man United were up 1-0. They came back, went up 2-0, 2-1. They also came back. So brilliant for them in terms of that. Like I said, they sound pretty good players as well. Carl Walker, they also signed a couple players from Chelsea, not just that, but their additions, I think, because if you look on the Premier League table right now, they're not. I don't think they're not in the relegation zone. They're sitting 14 in the Premier League on the Premier League table. So that's good for them. And Man United have moved to 9. Congratulations to them, right? Far from where they were last season. So kudos to United. But one thing I would say about United is this: their entire system, if it's going to work, Amorim need to find a proper wing back. The people that they have right now are not it, because in this 3-4-3 system, the wing back are almost like an attacker or a winger. Because if you're gonna have that, you need people that are good at going forward. Dalot, no. The Dog is it Dogu, the kid on the left hand side or on the right hand side, he's okay in terms of defending, but going forward, he doesn't really give you much. And you need people that kind of give you a fair balance of both, right? Like when Thomas Tuchel was at Chelsea, Reece James gave you a good balance of both, right? And then you had Chilwell. Chilwell was a bit liability at times in terms of defending, but he was also good, right? Going forward, so we had that. Now, when they were in the team, we could feel that our system something there's something missing, which was them. And I think Man United need to find a good proper win back and then get a good defensive mid, because we all, like, again, with Chelsea, I can only relate to that because we once experienced that with Thomas Tuchel, right? We had a very good DM in Kante. What's his name? I'm just forgetting the name. But Kovacic, right? We have a very good DM in them. So whatever combination usually work. Kante cover the ground, Jorginho give you composure and control the midfield. And you have Kovacic, if you bring him in, that can advance with the ball if we need it. And I think Man United need a little bit of that, right? So if they can get a couple people in like that, maybe it may not happen now, but the January window is coming. They can take opportunity of that. But congratulations to them on their first win. At least I was hoping they was gonna lose so I can make fun of them, but that didn't happen. But let's see. We move Tottenham versus Bournemouth, right? This was another good game. Good game from the standpoint that Tottenham controlled the game, right? In terms of possession, in terms of whatever, If you look at the stats, it'll tell you that, if you didn't watch the game and you look at the stats, it will tell you that, you feel like Tottenham had pretty much control over the game. They did to some extent, but to me, they didn't have control of the game because Bournemouth came with a plan and Bournemouth worked according to their plan and they got what they wanted at the end of it, right? Bournemouth sit back in a structure, very good structure, right? They'll sit back in the structure so Tottenham get the ball, they get to move the ball around. Now they couldn't really break that structure that Bournemouth had. They were compact and everything, so they struggled with that, right? But then Bournemouth were also to catch them on a counter attack. And if you watch the highlight, it's just Bournemouth going at them every time. Bournemouth going at them. Semenyo was good. Everybody was on it for Bournemouth, right? So they will set up defensively in terms of attack as well. They will also be on them, right? So they got what they wanted. They got the result that they wanted. Unlucky to Tottenham. Happy days for me. Spurs lose, right? Y'all can hold that. The entire Tottenham, y'all can hold that. Y'all got Javi Simmons. Y'all think that's the end of it all, right? Y'all think you're gonna win the league or something. Hold that. That's the beginning of the end for you, Lord, right? But yeah, we move Wolves versus Everton, right? Another beautiful game at Wolves, right? They played. They went to Wolves. Everton went to Wolves. Another beautiful game, right? The way Everton looks right now in an attacking sense, brilliant. The way they look right now in an attacking sense, absolutely brilliant, right? The way they set up, the addition that they have in their squad as of now, right? Greenwich and Dewsbury-hall, those two additions, I think they're making that impact. Now they already have Beto, right? As that striker, was it Indiani? I'm missing his name. They're number 10, and another beautiful player as well. He's also doing good things as well. So kudos to him, right? But the way they set up, they might do something great. They might surprise a lot of people in this season, right? Looking at them, Greenwich, Dewsbury Hall look absolutely alive. Greenwich look alive. Now, if you've been following me, I talked about them before. I told you why Greenwich going to Everton would be good for Greenwich himself, right? And I told you Dewsbury-hall, why would it be good for him himself, right? Because now he get to play where he want to play. They both of them get to do what they want to do. They get to play in the position they want to play in, right? They have that freedom to be themselves, to be creative, right? To do, what they can do to add to a team, what they can add to a team. There's no limitation on them, so it's like they can be, and it's Everton as well. So it's like the level, the pressure is not as compared to you being at City or you being at Chelsea, right? So you have a little bit of a freedom, a little bit of a space to breathe, to be able to, implement yourself or rediscover yourself. And they both of them are doing that brilliantly, right? So congratulations to Dewsbrury-hall and congratulations to Jack Grealish as well. The man have 4 assists now, so he's doing absolutely brilliant. Even his best mate, Haaland, is posting about him, calling him Jack De Bruyne. That's funny, but congratulations to them. David Morse, brother, keep it up. Until you meet Chelsea, keep it down, right? When you meet Chelsea, you tune it down. But anybody else, turn it up, right? But yeah, for them, that was a pretty good game. Wolf, on the other hand, I think they need to I don't know, do something to themselves. Now they sit in bottom of the league, if I'm not mistaken, and rightfully so, because they need to be a little bit more structured, a little bit more compact, right? Now, if you come to Chelsea, when Chelsea is playing you, just lose up. Don't stay compact, just lose yourself, all right? But you need to stay a little bit more compact. They have some sort of a structure. Don't it's easy for people to break you down. And I think they need to figure that out as well. And maybe I know they lost a couple of their players. Cunha left, I think another person, but I'm forgetting that name, also left as well. So they need to do some reinforcement in terms of signing or get some proper people in to be able to help them. Now, maybe the window is almost close, so probably now, but January, you'll need to do something. Or otherwise, see you in the championship, mate. Right? But we move. Sunderland, listen, I think they're surprising more people than we realize. I'll be honest with you. They are surprising more people than they're sitting six right now in the Premier League. Right? They know how to ground away. Today game against Brentford, Brentford was going out there. Brentford, I think, has some sort of a decent control. Now it was a close game from both, and in terms of possession, in terms of moving the ball around. They also didn't back down as well. If you look at them, play, you won't even know that they are just a newly relegated, newly promoted team. They are playing, I have to say, they've been in the league for at least 2, 3, 4 years. And well done to them. Brentford are unlucky, but they got a last minute winner that kind of sealed the win for them. So congratulations to Sunderland. Like I've been saying, their additions recently, what the additions they make into their team, great, right? They add in experience, and they also have a bit of quality in their team, and then they add in experience to it. That's brilliant. Congratulations to them on their win. Hopefully they can keep it up. Again, when you meet Chelsea, die it down. Don't bring that disrespect over here. All right. But Leeds versus Newcastle, another snooze fest. Newcastle is going through it, right? In terms of signing, now they're going through injury crisis as well. English, but they didn't really get to bring a lot of the people that they wanted, that they had. When I say they wanted, like it's like this person, you have an idea for them how they're going to fit into your team, and they went for them. Most of the people they went for didn't come, right? And I can see Newcastle struggling right now, right? Joe Linton is out. They have a couple injuries, crisis here and there, right? And then Isak is already off to Liverpool, and deal been agreed. So that's happening. And still tuned. Tomorrow I'm gonna bring you all the latest on transfer window. It's gonna be the deadline day. The mad thing's gonna be happening. I said tomorrow, today. Jeez, what's going on, man? So stay tuned for that. Don't go anywhere. But yeah, Newcastle need to pick it up. That game against Liverpool, the energy I saw, the passion I saw, the way, the brand of football they were playing against Liverpool, right? I know they were home, but they took the game to Liverpool and they played like they meant it. So, I think they need to refine that form. And I know today was a draw. So they have 2 draw, 1 loss, and unlucky to them. What it's like, I know they also go down, down, down. They're sitting 17, right? I know it's Newcastle. They're not gonna get relegated. I don't think they will get relegated, right? But they need to find their form again. And then we move. Brighton, right? Our shopping mall. Chelsea shopping mall versus Man City. Chelsea Academy. Our mall versus Academy play. Apparently our mall won, right? Brighton won 2-1. Erling Haaland scored on his 100 Premier League, in his 100 Premier League game, right? Congratulations to him. What a milestone. But City, I have a question though. Pep Guardiola, have him been figured out? Because if you look at how people play City right now, right, as compared to what City was when Pep Guardiola's first game, it's not the same. Because the Premier League time to time have been known for physicality, right? Energy, aggression in the league. Now, that's not to say there wasn't any kind of technical coaching or ability within the Premier League. There were some, but the face of the Premier League is mostly aggressive, aggression, speed, energy, right? That was in the Premier League. Now, Pep Guardiola came. Now, he was able to bring some sort of his tactical genius into the league. Now, every single person or coaches within the league had to readjust, right? Because whatever he was doing was working, and City was dominating. So when people faced them, well, it became a problem. Well, they didn't know what to do, right? It's like quick ball movement here and there, player, I don't know, moving mad, Pep doing what Pep does. But now it's like you play City is not the same. That even though City will be City and they will have possession here and there, but it's like nothing have Pep been figured out. Because now if you look at what the kind of brand of football that is being played within the Premier League, it's not just static no more, right? It's like a little bit of the old school is coming back, which is physicality, aggression, right, and energy, speed. So now you look at most teams, and kudos to Jurgen Klopp for doing that. I think he brought that with Liverpool. Now Liverpool still play the same way with Anslot, right? So it's like you see aggression, energy, quick transition, speed, where counter attack, everything you can find in Liverpool squad, right? Great defending, physicality, everything you can find there. And I think a lot of club right now is picking up that model, right? So it's that it's not just statics no more. So when you play City, when you are more physical with City, yeah, you get them. Because the last two games that City are lost, if you pay attention to it, their opponent was more physical than they were, right? Now Brighton, the beginning of the game, the first had everything. They were playing tactical football until their substitution came in. Those 4 subs that they made changed the game. The energy, the momentum, everything changed. And City was on the back foot. They didn't have the energy that they had from the beginning of the game, right? So it's like because there are a lot of, I won't say the old players, no, but it's like even the young player, the new addition that is there, the physicality. I don't think Man City is like a physical team, right? There are a couple people on that team that are physical, but I don't think the entire team is physical. When you are a team and you are a little bit physical and a bit, when you are physical and a little bit technical, you're able to take a game to City. You are capable of taking a game to City, right? And don't sit back. Once you sit back, you give them the upper hand. They will definitely find a way to kill you. But if you take a game to them, you usually put City on the back foot. Have Pep then figure out though? That's the question. You let me know. You let me know. But City lost, and congratulations to Brighton on their win, right? Liverpool versus Arsenal. This game was pretty much, even both teams was doing what they're supposed to do. I won't say anybody got killed. Arsenal lost. I'm happy. Arsenal lost, right? I'm absolutely happy. I'm buzzing that Arsenal lost, right? But in terms of play, I don't think Arsenal necessarily played bad. Now, they had a couple injuries in Saka, Odegaard, and Saliba, right? Now, Arsenal fan may come out and say, oh, we had injuries. But you also made some brilliant signing. That injury shouldn't be a problem, right? So, in my opinion, great, win for Liverpool, that's for sure. It's the free kick, slide. Yeah, this thing, I always rate this guy. As a player, I always rate him. I had a teammate that was from his country, and I told him, like, him as a player, I rate the guy, right? And him play as a fullback, and yet still do what he's supposed to do, man. What's his name? Frimpong, hurry, come back. Let the man move back into the midfield. That's all I can say. But congratulations to Liverpool on that win. And then I think the final one we have Villa versus Palace. And Palace are smoked them 3-0, right? But I won't say it's like, smoked them. If you watch the game, if you watch the game on the highlight, it was a close one, right? But last minute of time within the game, Crystal Palace pick it up, and Mateta with the goal, right? Followed by Gay, right? He's leaving. We all know he's gonna leave, right? That's it. Today, you're gonna get a year we go at some point that he's leaving, right? He's off to Liverpool. We know it's gonna happen, and Sa also got on the score sheet. So congratulations to them on that. When they're showing the Crystal Palace is showing to be a force to reckon with at this point. What they're doing and what they're building, I feel like they're becoming, almost like Newcastle. So they're gonna be, I say, Palace, Newcastle, and Aston Villa. Now maybe Nottingham Forest in the mix. Those four teams, I think they might be a problem, right? They might be a problem. So let's see what happened in the Premier League. But that's your review for the Premier League. We fall. I said week 4, week 3 review, right? Everything that happened, all of the goals. Now let me tell you my Premier League team of the week before we leave. My Premier League team of the week. So I go with Lino in goal. I think he was the best goalkeeper this week for me. Playing against Chelsea, what he did, right? He had one of the best, highest rating as well, right? What he did, the part that he played in the way Fulham was set up was absolutely brilliant. Great composure on the ball, right? And for me, he was up there. And then for my back four, I have Kirkes, Milo Kirkes, right, from Liverpool. The guy, he also, man, that's a brilliant signing for Liverpool, right? He is good. The guy is good. He know how to defend. He know how to get stuck in. So I take him any day of the week. But this week, I think he was one of the best left back out there. Unfortunately, I couldn't put Kukurela in there. I wanted to, but I couldn't. But then center back, I'm going Gay. Did you see the goal he scored? Right, that alone just put him in here. But he's a brilliant defender. And then Chalobah, the shape that he put in this week, not just he's been showing a bunch of consistency across the line, but this week, week for Chelsea, he was solid, right? And then the big man himself, Soboslai. Now, usually you wouldn't be putting him there, but that's the position he played this week. So Soboslai as a right back, he's been killing it. So we move to the midfield. I put Casado. Listen, he is it. I didn't see any better center mid or defensive mid this week than him. No. Casado, I told you, when Kante and Makelele have a kid, this is him. This is him right here. Casado. Casado. But, and then next to him, I had Kenny and Dewsbury-hall. This one, nobody can say he shouldn't be in here. What he's been up to and what he did, he had a goal and an assist. That put him in right. I was going to put Enzo Fernandez there that also had a goal and an assist, but I thought he had a better game than Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez, the only good thing about his game was the goal and the assist, right? Other than that, all around he was awful. But him, other than the goal and the assist, he still had a decent game. So I give it to him. And then as a 10, put João Pedro. This one, you can't say I'm being biased. Nobody you call that should be in here than João Pedro. It's João Pedro, right? The man can stop scoring. The man can stop doing what he's supposed to do. He's not just scoring. He's also defending. He's also adding something. This guy, listen, Todd, I'm sorry, yeah? I'm sorry. I apologize again. Listen, next time you're going to go do business at Brighton, I'm not saying nothing. I'm not saying nothing. And then Greenwich, I think he should be there as well. 2 assists, posting him right there, right? On the left-hand side, you got Greenwich there. He's doing brilliant. He's having a great moment right now. This man, at the end of the season, this right here, this type of performance, might get him a spot in the England squad. So let's see how that goes. And then we have Mbuemo. I also think he had a great shape. Now, I don't like Man United, but he had a very good game. He had a goal, a very decent game. And then I put Thiago, Igor Thiago, right? This guy, for me, he also had a very good game, right? He had a very in score a goal. I think Brentford lost, but even though they lost, right? He all round as a striker. Now Erling Haaland also scored a goal. There are other strikers that also scored a goal. For me, I'm looking at everything that he did in the game, right? Regardless of the goal, how else did he contribute? And for me, he has to be in there, or he has to be my man offer. Now it's either him or Ivan Nelson. So those two are the one, and I went with him. So this is my Premier League team of the week. And then for my Premier League player of the week, I gave it to Soboslai. That free kick, gave it to him. Listen, there's nothing. Nothing. But after a free kick like that, I cannot come out here to say, oh, I'm thinking who to give the Premier League player of the week to. Soboslai, you take it, bro. That's it. But let me know your thoughts down below. Everything we discussed, right? The game, what do you think about each and every one of them? City, do you think Pep Guardiola have been figured out? Do you think the new brand of football and what's happening in the Premier League right now? Do you think City just gonna keep crumbling, or they're gonna be in the mix, but they won't be dominating as they used to, right? Let me know your thoughts about that. Liverpool, Arsenal, a little bit of banter would be appreciated, right? Down in the comment, right? Brighton win as well. So let me know your thoughts about everything that happened. My Premier League team of the week. Who would you change? Who would you add to it, right? Am I being biased by adding Casado? Let me know your thoughts down below. Am I Premier League Player of the Week in Soboslav? Who do you think he should be the Premier League Player of the Week, or no? Who else would you make the Premier League Player of the Week, right? Let me know your thoughts about that. Thank you very much appreciated. Stay tuned. Later today, I'm bringing the latest on transfer. Don't go anywhere. Thank you very much. See you later. Cheers.